Hey, it's your girl, Adria.
And Apryle.
And you're listening to our podcast, Twinversations, a conversation with twins by twins.
Our podcast is a curated space that delves into twins' fascinating bonds and experiences through conversations, storytelling, and community.
So I think we are ready to get this going.
Okay. Thanks for tuning in to Twinversations, a conversation with twins by twins. I am Apryle, and this is...
I'm Adria. I'm April's identical twin sister and also co-host.
Welcome to our first episode.
This is so exciting.
This is amazing. It's been such a long journey, you all. It's what, we are at a year now, right, in trying to preparation for this?
Yeah, yesterday we celebrated our first year in our podcast business, so super humbled by that experience.
Yeah, me am. So before we actually start, I want to before we actually set the stage about what this podcast is going to be about in the season, because Adria and I are twins, we think it's important for us to let you all know that we have like different names for each other, which we'll probably slip into naturally. So I am Apryle, aka also known as Ape or Apey, and Adria.
I'm Adria, and my family calls me Age. So, naturally throughout our Twinversations in the episodes, you'll notice that we'll just revert back to those names. It's very rare that I call Apryle, and she calls me Adria. So that's just a twin tip.
Yeah, that's just a twin tip. So, Age, are you ready to get started?
I am. I mean, what are we talking about today? I know we worked on a lot of preparation for this, so you're really good with agendas. So what's our agenda?
Okay, so what we're looking at today is we really want to set the stage for the season, what Twinversations mean, who we're going to be having conversations with, what is this space? So Twinversations is a curated space that Adria and I are putting together where twins can discuss their fascinating bonds and experiences here with us. We are looking forward to working, not even necessarily working, we're looking forward to actually having great conversations with different set of twins each episode.
I think that's so true because, as we start to develop this podcast, which, by the way, full transparency, Apryle and I had a totally different idea for a podcast, and we had this bomb name that we're not going to say because it's actually a cool name. But when God put this in our spirit to come up with twins, talk about spotlight twins in the twins community, we came up with Twinversations, which you'll hear about a little bit later as I tell our story. But like Apryle mentioned, we are curating this space so that each episode we're speaking and conversing with a different set of twins. So these may be twins that Apryle and I know in our immediate circle, and then these also twins that we've never met.
And I think what's going to be super cool about that is that as Adria talk a little bit more of our story and how we got here, we are so interested in wondering, is our experience as twins the same as others? Yeah, we've heard this before with some other twins, but what does it really look like when you sit down with a set of twins and listen to their story? And we really want to share that space and invite you in. And so Adria and our philosophy is twins tell the best stories about twins.
I couldn't agree with you more.
I mean, by far. Okay, let's just be real. They do. There are many great interviews, talk show hosts, TV, nighttime shows that will do interviews about twins. But for us, we feel like some of the conversation is
it's very surface.
It's surface. It's really, if you will, elementary. And so Adria and I were like, oh my gosh, we can't take it anymore. There's so much to us that we want to showcase to the world. And when I say us, I mean twins in a larger community. So we're more than just, if I touch you, will she feel it or will she feel it? There's more to the story about, do you guys date the same person? No, we really want to dig deep. And that's what Adria is going to talk a little bit about and telling our story. So
no, you can be more true. I mean, first and foremost, keep having twins on your show, right? Because we want to be out there in the forefront. So we're not bashing that by any means, but it is a little bit annoying to hear some of those basic questions that are being asked. Apryle and I have this joke where we're always telling people as we grow up, the twin questions should grow up.
Absolutely.
So that's what she meant earlier when she was saying that some of those questions are elementary. It's just we have a much deeper experience to us that we want to share with other people. And we know you're curious because you ask us every day about what it means to be twins.
Every day. There's not a day that goes by that Adria and I do not run across maybe 3 to 5 people who will either be driving and recognize we're twins, and then they roll down their window, they have these same questions, or if we're at the grocery store. So we love them, okay?
We welcome them.
We welcome them. But we just, like Adria's point, we really want the questions to grow up more, because as we do mature and grow up, the bond with twins actually changes. And so,
does.
Adria, want to talk a little about that?
Yeah, so I'll talk a little bit about our story. So this is new territory for Apryle and I. So you'll learn a lot about our story, like our brand story and why we came up with Twinversations. Yeah. And then throughout the podcast, you'll also learn about just our twin story in general. But as I mentioned, this is a huge faith step for us. You know, when God was speaking to us about highlighting twins and the bond and just the spiritual connection of twins and really just diving deeper into what does that look like. Apryle and I really took that serious, and we were like, okay, we need to be obedient with this. And this was definitely the season he was calling us into. So our story is twinfold. Apryle, you know this.
Yes.
Anybody out there who's a twin, you know that your story is always twinfold, right? And that's just a play on word for twofold. But Apryle and I wanted to create a space for twins to talk with other twins, which is what this is, this podcast. But we also wanted to uplift the stories and experience of twins worldwide. So a lot of our passion projects that Apryle and I have worked on in the past have always been very global focused. You know, it's one thing to know twins in your immediate circle. We have a lot of twins in our family. We have a lot of twin friends that we know, but it's one thing to figure out, like, what is their twin experience worldwide?
Yeah.
You know, what does it look like culturally? Is there some cultural differences? Is the experience that we share as twins, is it universal? We know there probably are some similarities, but it's very complex in my opinion, and I think it could possibly be diverse, and that can possibly be influenced by external factors in terms of where you grew up, where you live, what's your faith. So that's some of the reasons why we decided in 2024 to launch Twinversations.
Yes.
That is our brand that's dedicated to twins. And the focus of that is really for us to focus on the holistic experience of twins. Would you agree?
I agree. The holistic experience is so important. Just a needle thread, just a little bit. The holistic experience in from our perspective is more of like, let's really dig deep when we have a conversation with twins about what does it mean from a mental perspective. And I mean mental, like a mental health perspective. Like, what does it mean if one twin is experiencing mental health challenges and one is not? What does it mean from a religious perspective when one twin is one faith and one is the other? What does it mean from an economic perspective when one twin makes more money?
That would be me.
Than this twin, not anymore, but in the past. What does it mean from just physical? Like Adria and I, we're going to talk a lot about our twin story throughout the season. We'll drop stories here and there, but you know, that physical transference, and we have so many funny stories of, you know, but what does it also mean when your twin's hurting? Physically, emotionally, we really want to delve deep into that with the twins that's going to be in our episode.
It is. That's super important because, as we mentioned earlier, it's really just bringing the world into our community and not so much from an observation lens. Because we'll give you a little tip here as well. Those who are not twins, you are non-twins, right? But Apryle and I dubbed you as singletons.
Yes.
So if you hear us use that phrase as well, it's not derogatory. It's just that's how we've always referred to people who are not twins. You know, we think it's pretty cool that you didn't have to wake up with someone else having your face. So as we were talking about our brand and Twinversations, you can see it's on my sweatshirt. I'm wearing some cool merch here. What does Twinversations mean? So I'm going to give you our definition of Twinversations. And I'm not even quite sure, Apryle, if folks have even heard the phrase Twinversation.
I think maybe twins have, because we use some of the same jargon, but I don't think as a whole a lot of people have. And this definition Adria is giving you is our definition.
Correct. So Ape and I believe that Twinversations are verbal and nonverbal conversations between twins that require no explanation. And I mean, no explanation. I can like double exclamation point that if I could. And what we mean is like Apryle and I, we could be in a room, right, Ape?
Straight up.
She can be in the far left end. I can be in the far right corner. And as soon as our eyes lock, we are having a conversation. It could be about the immediate space we're in. It could be about a nice looking gentleman across the way. It could be about us clowning somebody and we just don't want anybody to know.
Yep.
All of that is happening in Twinversations. We also, part of Twinversations too, and this will be curious to see if other twins who come on the show do this, is we have codes.
Yeah.
So we have hand gestures, we have codes, we take lines from movies that actually may not mean anything to anybody, but they absolutely mean everything to us. And it's our way to communicate in a space where there's probably just a lot of people, or it's just our way to communicate because sometimes it takes a lot of effort to communicate. So
It does. And I think what's going to be interesting also throughout this season when we talk to different twins is, our mom, we'll probably do an episode with the parent of a twin.
I think so. I think that should probably be like a bonus episode because it's about us, right?
Yeah, it'll be like a bonus episode. But my mom talks a lot about how Adria and I always talk to each other in our sleep as we were growing up. So, even putting this podcast together, Adria and I have been really reflecting on when did we really know we were twins? Like, when did we figure out that we had this type of twinversation, if you will, communicate with each other and the signs? And so as we explore other stories with other twins, it's going to, really unpack our own story.
That's what I think is going to be really cool because we're coming into this venture, if you will, into this space with open hearts ourselves. By far, Apryle and I are not the be-all, end-all twins, We're not the supreme personification of what the ideal twin should be. It's a space for us to also learn from other twins. But something that we talked about, and I want to mention this as well, is that when we were talking about Twinversations, it's like imagine yourself like watching a documentary about twins, listening to our podcast about twins, and really witnessing like this unique language between two people that you can't understand, but that you want to decode, right? Because sometimes we come across twins who think that they can decode our language, but really what that turns into is like these assumptions that have nothing to do with us, or these expectations that have nothing to do with us.
Yeah.
So, it's like if you've witnessed that ever, or some twins, or you have some twin colleagues or best friends, and you're like, yep, I know exactly what you're talking about, then congratulations, you have experienced your first Twinversation.
Speaking of that, tying us back a little bit when we were talking about the holistic experience that we want to, the different topics that we want to bring up when we're having the conversations. We don't want to have interviews with twins.
No.
We want to bring up top prompts maybe, but we want to have a conversation with twins. Adria and I did a little user research.
Because we're sophisticated.
We are. And, project manager. But here we go. Some of the user research that the information data that we got back is, so we actually polled folks who were twins and those who were not twins. And then some who were identical, some who were fraternal. We were just very curious about like what information we're going to get. The top topics, which we'll be weaving into the season, into our conversations, was people really are interested in the twin relationship, which, my gosh.
That doesn't surprise me, though. That doesn't surprise me.
No, it doesn't surprise me. It's very complex. It has so many layers, and we're going to get there. But I thought that was really interesting. That was like number one. And then right after that was the twin identity and the twin individuality. And that is like a no-brainer and so important on so many levels.
I think that's like a central theme to our twin story.
Yeah.
Identity probably is a central theme to all twin stories. But that definitely, I'm surprised that didn't rank the highest of all. But, they're not twins. So, some of the people were twins that we did the research with.
True. Third, we have funny stories. So we do plan to layer in a funny story here and there, not only from our own experience, but we're hoping that we can also pull that out from the guests that we're going to have on our podcast. And then twin siblings came up, which I think is very important subject to talk about because
I'm surprised that didn't rank the highest.
I know, right? I think it's going to be important to talk about because Adria and I as twins, obviously we have our own relationship, but we also have an older sister. And our relationship with her is obviously different than our relationship together. But then will also have her own relationship of what does it mean to be a sibling of a twin.
And I'm pretty sure if you know our sister, she has a lot to say.
Lot to say.
Probably
will want her own podcast show.
Yes.
And then last, a lot of folks said that they were interested in the twin communication language, hence the Twinversations that Adria and I are talking about.
Now, I will say, Apryle, and I don't mean to interrupt you. Oh, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
As we move through each episode, you're going to know that Apryle talks a lot. I will interrupt and all will be well by dinner. I'm just letting you know, like, it's not even just a tagline. It literally is how it happens for us.
It's the truth.
It's the truth. Okay, so I was interrupting you, and what was I going to say? Oh, okay, great. What was I going to say?
I don't know. But what we also want folks
It'll come back to me.
What we also want folks to know is we're really not trying to interrupt each other. We've been told, now we are not able to recognize it, but we're often always told that we finish each other's sentences. So perhaps you wasn't interrupting, you were just finishing my sentence.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
Or perhaps we're getting close to an age that I don't want to admit to, and I don't remember.
Maybe that's what it is. Well, that's where we are. That's where we are. But age... As we get towards the end of this podcast, which I'm so excited about it, I can't even explain it. Like, I cannot wait for God to open the doors for us to meet twins all over the world.
I know what I was going to say.
Got it. You want to go there?
Yeah, because if I don't say it this time, I'm definitely going to miss it twice.
Go right ahead.
So Apryle and I think that this space is not just for content, right? Yeah, the funny stories is for entertainment, and there's a little bit of information that you will learn, but it really could be used as a much larger space with that. So we talk about this, like our stories, what we're hoping to get is that there may be some stories that are really deep.
Yeah.
There's always like the sibling rivalry, but then there's nothing like a twin breakdown.
Yeah.
And it breaks our heart. Like, so there may be twins out there who may not be in good standing with one another, if you will, because I feel like you never break the twin bond. Apryle and I always talk about like the twin bond is like this elastic rubber band. It will never break. Like you can separate as far as the Red Sea,
exactly.
But you're still going to bounce back. So there's hope. So maybe this space is going to be used also for like a healing space.
I hope so.
Possibly.
I hope so. I really do. I hope twins come in their authentic space and voice. And if there are challenges that they are having, because again, we're going to go deep into the complexity of our relationship or their relationship as twins and, versus and the expectations people put on us that could be a burden. Sometimes it could be a burdensome to be a twin. Yeah. And so I really hope that if we do come across some twins who have that type of challenge, that they're able to work out that challenge. It doesn't necessarily have to be on the camera and at the podcast, but I'm hoping maybe we can still connect with them outside the podcast to have our own Twinversation meeting.
A Twinversation council, possibly?
Possibly, which means get it together. We are twins.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Like, we don't do this. Yeah. Nobody's breaking a bond.
And then also, too, like, we're going totally off script because if you know twins... we try to coordinate everything, right? But we're talking amongst family here. You can best believe Apryle and I will definitely bring our full transparency to each episode, right? Yeah. So what you see is what you get. Like, we don't know any other way to be.
No, we don't. And actually, speaking of that, how about you give a little bit of a high-level overview of our twin story? Just high level today, folks. We will go deeper. We will peel the onion.
I knew you were going to ask that question.
We will peel the onion as we go through because it's not really about us. It's about our guests. But we want to actually weave
it's about all of us.
About us. But we want to weave our story into theirs. And so we'll start peeling back the layers of our twin story. But H sums it up in a way that I really like. So I think you should share it.
I mean, asking that question is like asking, like, what's your purpose? Does anybody really know? But when Apryle and I were preparing for this podcast, I thought about it a little bit. So I'm going to kind of weave it into a narrative as much as I can. Okay. So, using my hands and things like that, that's what I will be doing. So obviously in the 70s, the Brodie twins arrived in this world, the late 70s, if you will. And we've always been real close. Like, we've always had a tight bond. So my mom tells the story about how she would put us in the crib and Apryle will be in the far corner. We're always in corners, by the way. I don't know where we're in.
I know, right? Corners. What is that about?
But Apryle would be in one corner. I would be in one corner. And by the morning, we would be in the middle together. So some way we just scooted ourselves over, probably had a Twinversation about it, and decided to wake up together next to each other. And that always happened. Unfortunately, /fortunately, depends on how you look at it. We've always shared a room. I'm talking about in high school, up into high school.
Yeah.
We didn't share the same bed.
No, we had twin beds. Now, let's be clear.
We shared the same bed, but we had twin beds. But we would always have conversations with each other as well in that moment. So we've always had this tight bond. Okay, so fast forward to maybe elementary schools, 8 or 9. Our grandmother, God rest her soul, she could not tell us apart, right, Abe? So everything was a coordinated. We were collective. We were a group. So everything was twins. go get my glasses. Twins, go do this. Twins, go do that. We didn't necessarily have an identity, especially within our family. We knew we were Apryle and Adria, but to everybody else, we were just twins. Do you agree?
I totally agree with that.
Yeah. Did that bother you?
Yeah, it did. And we're going to go there. Like,
We'll talk about it.
I'm thinking maybe episode 3. To get episode 3.
I'm thinking the same thing too. Okay. So we have this tight bond as babies, right? As most babies do. And then we move to this point where we're just a collective, this one unit that dresses alike, talks alike, looks alike, which was really cute. We were really cute kids, and we're cute adults too. But, my mom would dress us alike, which was fine. But I can tell you, like in 6th grade, Apryle and I were like, okay, lady, no more. We cannot dress alike anymore. Because that is where we decided to start really tapping into our individual selves. Like, I just wanted to be Adria and not Apryle all the time. Apryle was always Apryle because everybody remembers her name because her name is Apryle. She spells it differently. But Adria was hard on the tongue, and nobody ever remembered it. So also, it was like Apryle and Apryle, Apryle and Apryle. I even never had my own identity. And I talk about that even now to this day because people still call me Apryle.
It's the truth. I think we realized at 6th grade, like, look, we cannot wear the same overalls and turtleneck. Like, seriously, we can't. Like, ma'am, mama, I love you. And I know my mom prides herself on, like, you're my twin babies, but we were just like, we cannot. So that evolution of the twin story, the identity the individuality was starting to peak. It was starting to come out a little bit. We were starting to explore, like, who Adria is Adria. I am Apryle. I am all things fuchsia and pink. She's all things navy, maybe a little hint of burnt orange and turquoise for her soul colors. And we just started to really transform into individuality. Now, we did share the same best friend. Most twins do.
Most friends do.
But
Shout out to Natasha. She has been our best friends, oh my gosh, since we were itty bitty and will always be.
Absolutely. But we also had our own side friends. And I don't mean side in a bad way, but just like we also had our own side friends. So then we were really starting to grasp on, like, our own individuality. Then what happened?
So we've gone through that journey, right? Now we're starting to discover our individual selves. We're still, we're not dressing alike, but we're still hanging tough. Apryle and I, fortunately, God designed it in a way where we had the same, like, interest in life.
Yeah, we did.
We've had the same interest in engineering. We got our first degree in the same subject. After postgraduate, we worked together at the same job. And then probably, late 20s?
I think late 20s.
Late 20s. I'm a writer. I've got my journalism degree and working on some things. And Apryle is more into just sociology. And she started doing her own thing. So we sort of parted ways. Yes. But it was amicable.
Yes, it was not a breakup.
It was not a breakup, but we say that because during that amicability, if you will, of us breaking up, our family didn't take it so well. So, it wasn't just that we were just deciding to say, like, hey, I'm going to start studying this and I'm going to take my career to the left, you take yours to the right. We also stopped traveling together.
And oh my gosh, you guys, you would have thought it was like a death in a family. I mean, it was like, do we need to have a council meeting? I remember going to visit a sister for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And I came by myself.
I did not want to go.
Adria she was like, I just don't want to go. Like, I just want to do my own thing. I want to go. And I thought, great. I get my own space and own time. And it became like, a group text? What happened? Did you guys get into it?
The twins fell out. That was the chime across the family. Like, the twins fell out. And we did not fall out.
We were like, no, we're actually really cool right now. And one just wanted to fly and the other one didn't. So, okay. So then we realized that we're going to have to actually walk alongside the family to let them know that we are two people. Okay.
Two people.
Actually, I said 4, but we're 2.
Yeah, we're two people. So maybe we have to communicate or send a press release or something next time. Like, they got over it after that, right? They started to realize, okay, so now when we go visit our mom, she expects one twin. Largely that's due to the economy. Let's keep it real, right? Why are we buying for 2 tickets when you can go see mom, take care of her? She doesn't need to take care of her, but love on her, if you will, by yourself. And we can FaceTime you in.
We'll split these duties.
We split the duties. So we're there, right? So we found our individual selves. We had our little amicable breakup. We stopped working at the same company, obviously, because we were in different sectors for like 12 years.
Yes,
and then
13
you guys, just like with everybody, COVID happened. Oh my gosh. We started to work at home. She still was working with her company. I was still working with mine. But we were in the same house together. Well, we've always lived together. I forgot to say that. I forgot to preface this. We've always lived together.
Yeah, which has been cool.
We're cool. We're cool peeps amongst each other. I mean, we have our moments where we call it arguments.
I mean, I don't know what we call it because we'll have one in the next 3 minutes.
Maybe spats.
Yeah, maybe spats because the next 3 minutes we're back being friends, which is why, by the way, we'll also find out from other twins. But, those who have experienced us will know, like,
don't jump in.
Don't jump in. Don't say a word. We'll be back on track in about, just give us 3 minutes.
Give us 3 minutes.
And we'll be back on track.
But give us 3 minutes.
Yeah. But the funny part is that, so we've gone through this cycle that Adria is telling you the evolution of our twin story, which also... it still has so many layers to go because we're only 47. Well, about to be 48.
Oh my gosh, you promised not to tell our age.
Well, there it is. So I thank God for being this age.
I thank God for it too. That was an air pinky swear, by the way, so you broke it.
It sure was, and I straight broke it, so we were not connected right now. There are times where Adria and I are a little off, and we're like, okay, we really need to like zap in because we're not together.
And the weird thing that Apryle and I do, I'm going to let you in, it's so cheesy. We would put our...
Don't do it. Not today.
I'm not going to do it.
Not for episode 1.
Okay, not for episode 1. Maybe episode 10 when we really hooked you in.
Yeah, when we really hooked you in and you all realize that we're not weird.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say, Age, is when you were telling the story about our evolution and when COVID hit and we had to start working with each other, like at the house, it's been the most challenging time because when you separated for so long and now we're back together in the same space, it's not that we can't be around each other. It's just that when I'm on my Zoom call in a meeting, she sits across from me just like this, and she's leaning over telling me how I should be responding on the Zoom.
I think every person can relate to me, especially as a writer. I just think there's a better way that you can respond. And, you'll notice Apryle rambles, okay? It started a few years ago, but the girl won't be quiet.
I do.
So I'm like, wrap it up, Apryle,
yes,
wrap it up.
It is.
So I just think there's a more concise way for her to convey her story or her responses. So that's all I'm doing. Like, it's like I'm not being pesky. I'm just being Adria.
And she's just being a twin. And so from there, we're like, oh my gosh. Like, I can't do this. Like, so now we're on different floors.
No, but what happened to get there, though?
I don't know.
You skipped a step.
What's the step?
Well, the step was that we were living in a loft, right? So at least it was just like this one level space. We can spread out wide.
Yeah.
But, I had this grand idea, like, great. Interest rates are great during COVID. We need to purchase a home. Apryle was dead set against it. She actually said, I cannot die like this.
Like, I cannot. Like, we really...
We can't be together like this 24/7. But, I sold it. Like, look, this is good interest rates. During COVID, I'm not paying 2 mortgages. Well, you pay a mortgage, I pay a mortgage, and we're going to wind up being in the same house together. So we did purchase a home, AKA investment property, just so you know. It is tri-level, so we do have space.
Yes, we
vertical space. We now have vertical space.
We do have vertical space, which is really great and healthy.
It is healthy for our relationship.
We support each other now. I mean, God, we have so many things to talk about, but we support each other now with our own space. Like, I'm doing me, you do you. And again, I don't want to spend too much time on us right now, but what I'm looking forward to is the little snippet that we're giving you about our evolution, because obviously our story is going to continue on.
It is.
We're in the individual phase now. Maybe we'll be the Delaney sisters and
gosh, if you could live in our hundreds, that would be cool. But maybe next door, though, not together.
Next door. Maybe next door.
Next door.
Maybe we'll hear from our, when we hear from our other guests, like I want to know, where are they in their story? Like, are they together now? Did they break up? Like, how did they get there? What's the challenges they're experiencing?
That's what's going to be really key. You know what? Ever since Apryle and I decided to really put in the work, like I said, God told us to do this. So we were like, okay, God, we're going to be obedient.
Absolutely.
We have had more people come up to us.
Yes.
And say, hey, are you all twins? Well, that part is not new, but they're really curious. The curiosity level is like on 10 right now.
It is.
And so folks are really just like, what is it? What is it? Like, I want to know more. And I wanted to tell them so bad, just wait, because we have a podcast coming out, but I couldn't spill the beans. But it's going to be super interesting for even those folks to like tune in and listen in.
Yeah. So
because we're all about inclusivity, right? Like, we're not trying to have this exclusive twin. We have exclusive twin experience, because if you're not a twin, you don't have that. But we really want to include everybody. Just in the fold and just to learn about us.
I think so. It's not a fishbowl style. It's like Adria said, it's like, come join in, come listen, come learn.
Laugh.
Come laugh, come be curious.
Come cry.
Yeah, that's true too. And I think Adria will get to a point where we're like, once we build our followers up, ask you what else you want us to talk about.
Social media.
You know, I won't say we hate social media. We're just, there's others that's great at social media. I will say that.
Yes.
But, you know, we really want to like you said, I think you talked about it before, like connect the singletons, the non-twins into a twin world. And again, our main goal is to just really highlight the beautiful bond that God has developed between twins, the beautiful experiences that God has developed between twins, the variation of the twin experience across the globe. Like, I'm trying to get folks from Africa. I'm trying to get people from Asia. I'm trying to go all over and take this on the road.
We're taking it on the road, that's for sure. I'm like, stick with us, because it's really just faith, fun, and flights, okay? April and I will be abroad.
Exactly.
But you just said something that really just piqued my interest, because April and I are identical twins. We don't know what it means to be fraternal. Now, there may not be this large margin of a difference, but there could be. You know, it's all about keeping yourself open to like what the possibilities are and like unearthing all these little nitty gritty details.
Yeah.
So that may be an experience of its own.
And do they feel like we feel? Like, you know, I can read Adria's mind right now. I when she's hurting. So here's one funny story really quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I have two.
Well, not really quickly. Where are we going?
Okay, well, I have two. When we were talking about what is going to mean physical, Adria and I have so many hilarious like doctor stories. But one thing that really happens to us, like medical wise, I can't explain it. I'm not a doctor, but I can just tell you what really happens. And my mom can vouch. You know, Adria and I have allergies all over the place. And so I take Benadryl. She feels it.
Yes.
She takes it. I feel it. And so oftentimes at work, especially when we were working separately, I will call her and say, we would just be talking because, you know, we're also going to talk like 25 times a day because she has to know every single thing that happened that day, which my mom cannot understand. But she's going to be like, oh my God, I was so sleepy today. I don't know what's going on. I'm like, oh, I forgot to tell you I took Benadryl. And it happens the same way. And so these are, you know, it might not be important to everyone, but it's just we want to connect the dots ourselves about like if that happens.
No, I agree. You know what? To tag on to the whole medical part of it, literally, like we have a colonoscopy story that will crack you up. We're not going to say it right now because we want to keep you here. But what I will say is that April had to have nasal surgery, and when they gave her codeine, whatever it was that they gave her, she was wide awake, and I was asleep on the couch. So it does happen. April's absolutely true. We do have to coordinate.
We do. And maybe because we're so close. I don't know. You know, maybe if we were...
I mean, we've never really been apart like that, right?
We've been apart, but we're not married. So, you know, will it be different if I was in my own household with my family and she was with hers? But I don't know. And I think it still happens. And so I'm looking forward to, like, that's what I mean when I'm saying we want to go deeper. Like, it's not just about, oh, do you dress alike? No, I really want to know what it feels like if your twin is hurting and you can't feel like you can solve that problem for them. Or,
of course.
Or, you know, if you're not speaking and why, because maybe you're having conversations and not a twinversation. That's a different thing.
Well, I'm glad you said that because literally if you're a twin in limbo, you're having a conversation, and a conversation is what everyone has. That twinversation, like you were saying, like we can see sometimes like we're not in sync.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about that's missing. Something's off.
Yeah.
You know,
something's
and
off.
So, you know, just with any sibling, you know, you don't want to let a rift go too long because, you know, we value people. And sometimes it may be warranted, right? For your own health.
Yeah.
That you say, I can't be around this person. But for twins, it breaks our heart if that happens.
Yeah.
But I know it breaks my heart for sure.
It does. But I'm going to go ahead and just positively know that we're going to get so many beautiful stories from twins, however they may be. We just want them to be authentic, and we just want them to be in their truth, and for them to have a space and feel comfortable of telling their story with us because we get it. We get it.
That's the thing too. It's like you have a space where people get it.
Yeah.
You know,
it's about time. It's about time for us to have this space. There's probably many spaces out there. I've Googled, there's a lot of podcasts where parents of twins.
That's pretty cool,
You know,
too.
they do that, which I think is amazing.
Yeah.
I haven't really found one that just caters to twins specifically in this manner. And so...
I don't think so. I think I found like maybe some other twin podcast hosts, but not necessarily focusing on what we're focusing on. So hoping to sort of enter and bring shed light on that space.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what our brand is about. Like I said, Twinversations is a brand dedicated to twins. And however God decides to take that and morph that into multiple platforms,
we surrender.
We're here for it. We surrender and we're totally here for it.
We are.
And we're here for all twins. There's no judgment here by no means. No. You come as you are, just like church.
Granny.
Put your hands on your palms open.
Put your palms in. Let's go.
So shout out to our mom.
So at the end of this, what I really want people to understand is that we're building out the season right now.
Yes.
So look for that to come soon. If you have social media, which I'm assuming everybody does, we were just a little late to the game. Follow us at Official Twinversations Podcast, and then follow our brand at Official Twinversation.
Yes.
And you can also visit our website at www.twinversationpodcast.com.
Yes.
So twinversationspodcast.com.
We're currently right now, because we're really giving you not only what the podcast would be about, but sort of behind the scenes of how we're developing this. I mean, we're not definitely building the plane as we go. No. We know where we're going. We have a North Star. But we have some cool merch that we're going to be working on. Apryle and I have on some right now, but we have a little edits that we'll be making. So It'll definitely be some cool merch. We have the coolest twin socks ever in life. So, maybe if you haven't been dressing like your twin and for Cheesy Day, maybe we have a Cheesy Day.
Oh my gosh.
Where every twin dresses alike. Can you imagine a National Twin Cheesy Day?
Don't they have one already?
They probably do.
We just don't participate. we just don't participate. Maybe just from the socks below.
Maybe. I don't know. I can't do it. I mean, shout out to the twins who are still dressing alike because you are holding it down on so many levels. And that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I just can't do it.
Well, we did make a compromise and we dressed alike on our website. But it blends in. It doesn't look like.
Yeah, but do you know how much it cringed us? Remember, we immediately changed our clothes when we did that. So we've been far removed from that.
We were sweating.
Yeah.
So thanks again for tuning in to this podcast, Twinversations, a conversation with twins by twins.
It's our first episode, y'all.
It's our first episode. God is good. I am
Yes,
Apryle.
He is. I'm Adria. Also, by the way, I forgot to mention this in our twin story. So I know this was like our little exit, but I'm always going to mention it. Apryle couldn't be a twin without me.
She likes to let
so
everybody know
I was
that.
5 minutes late to the game. However, I was a breech baby, had a little maneuvering I needed to do to make my entrance. But just to let you know, she would be a singleton like you all too, which is good, so I just want to put that out there, And then, by the way, there's a lot of things I need to get off my chest about being that second baby. Maybe that's something we'll discover too.
We will.
Because everything in life literally is Apryle and Adria. Yeah. It's never been Adria and Apryle. It's so much now that we pay attention to it that when I send emails for this podcast, I always start with Adria and Apryle. I'm like, I got to take my ground back.
It's empowerment for her.
It's empowerment for me.
And I let her have it. I've been carrying the crown forever. So, it's fine. It's fine.
So if you see us on our streets or you just want to hit us up, please start with Adria and Apryle. You don't know what that means to me. You have no idea what that means.
It means a lot to her. It probably means a lot to some other twins as well.
I think it could.
I don't know. We'll find out.
We'll find out.
It's been a pleasure. Definitely join in, tune in, watch us. We're video and audio.
We'll be on multiple platforms.
If you know a twin, tell them to listen in. And if you know someone who likes to learn about twins, tell them to listen in. Yeah. And then if you've never even thought about us, because you're like, I don't care. I have my own face. I don't need to worry about twins. Maybe just slide in and just check us out.
Check us out, seriously. Because, why would you not?
Exactly.
It's positive content. And in the world we're living in, you want positive content.
It's going to be positive content. Thanks for saying that. Positive content, good vibe, good energy, no negativity over here, no curse words. That's not who we are. We are bringing good vibrations, good energy to the space. It's just really, again, highlighting the beautiful bond that God created.
And just on record, this is probably 4,000. And no, I'm just joking. How many projects we've worked on together?
Ooh.
We had a double vision our double vision aligned for this project. That's how I know God is involved because
it did.
Like I said, Apryle and I are really sticking to the individualness. And so for this to come together, it definitely was God's hands on it. But obviously I can't start a twin podcast without my twin.
I know. There's been times where I'm like, you keep on and I'm going to quit.
I think you've quit twice.
I probably quit twice.
Apryle, I kid you not. Apryle quit twice. Okay, so that's part of our communication breakdown, which I'm hoping if it's not this season, somebody can help us with. Apryle quit twice. I wasn't writing her, you guys. I just was asking some questions. And she's like, I'm not doing it. So that also told told me like, okay, you're a little shady right now. So, and then I told her, if you quit a third time, you're not quitting, I'm firing you. So she's made it right now. And luckily for our company, we're the HRs. So we'll make that determination. Or we'll always blame the intern that doesn't exist.
That is our joke. And
that's a joke. That actually was a twin quote. You don't know that, but by me saying that we blame the intern that doesn't exist, there's a paragraph behind that means something else. And maybe we'll talk about that.
Maybe we'll unpack it.
Yeah. Lastly, it's like a lot of lastlies in this lastly.
It is. I was just trying to give you the cue that you're missing. Like,
I keep interrupting. I'm sorry. Okay. So Apryle and I are also wanting to build this bank of like the most annoying 10 questions that you get asked. Okay. And annoying with a lot of love, but annoying.
Yeah. And so we want to collect that from our guests as well. It's just, again, it's information that we're curious about and interested in. And we don't know what we'll do with it yet, but it's important to us. So we're going to ask.
Maybe we'll turn it into a coffee book.
I don't know.
The sky's the limit.
The sky's the limit.
So it's twin time right now. And we have twin powers.
We do. Thanks for tuning in today. Thanks for listening. We appreciate you. Keep supporting us, and we will be here to support you as well.
See you on the next episode. Signing out. Twins.
Signing out.
The Brodie Twins.
The Brodie Twins.
This podcast has been brought to you by the Brodie Twins, a.k.a. your co-host. We want to thank our guests for contributing to today's Twinversation. For our twin community and those who love to learn more about twins, make sure you stay connected and follow us on Instagram at Official Twinversations Podcast. You know what? There's one more way that you can find us. Visit our website at www.twinversationspodcast.com to check out the latest episodes and the many platforms where you can watch and listen to our podcast.
And if you and your twin will be in the LA area and would like to be considered as a guest on our episode, fill out a contact form on our website. Don't forget to check out our merch store while you're visiting.